bomb Iran, bomb, 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 bomb. Anyway.
So make no mistake, if Iran achieves a nuclear weapons capability, it will not be because we couldn't stop it, but because we chose not to stop it. Time is running out. The deadline is near. Robert Gibbs, December 3rd. Well, we're going to have consequences if they don't turn around. December 20th, 2009. The list goes on and on of the threats that we have made to the Iranians, and so far, no action. George Shultz, my favorite Secretary of State in all the world, once said his Marine drill instructor told him, never point a gun at somebody unless you're ready to pull a trigger. We keep pointing the gun. We haven't pulled a single trigger yet, and it's about time that we did.
Thanks for that introduction, guys. They didn't mention that I stood fifth from the bottom of my class at the Naval Academy. My GPA earned me fifth from the bottom of my class at the Naval Academy status. I can assure you, on today's standards, it would be barely passing.
We hear talk of a meeting with the Iranian leadership offered up as if it were some sudden inspiration, a bold new idea that somehow nobody has ever thought of before. Yet it's hard to see what such a summit with President Ahmadinejad would actually gain, except an earful of anti-Semitic rants and a worldwide audience for a man who denies one Holocaust and talks before frenzied crowds about starting another.
Bomb, 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 bomb. Anyway.
Strategic attack on weaponry in Iran. Do you need congressional approval as Commander-in-Chief?
I believe that this is a possibility that is maybe closer to reality than we are discussing tonight.
John, you're absolutely right that presidents have to be prudent in what they say. But, coming from you, who, in the past have threatened extinction for North Korea and sung songs about bombing Iran, I don't know, how credible that is.
Because I think if the election were today, I do not think Obama would be reelected. But 3 years from now, things could change if on the national security front.
You're not suggesting that he would cynically play the war card.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying if he did, things would dramatically change if he decided to toughen up and do all that he can to secure our nation and our allies. I think people would perhaps shift their thinking a little bit. Tougher than we think than he is today.
She's, of course, talking about President Obama, seemed to be implying that this would be a good political move for him. What's your take?
I don't think a president can make a judgment like that on the basis of politics. The stakes are too high, the consequences too significant to be treating those as simple political calculations. When you begin to talk about war, talk about crossing international borders, you talk about committing American men and women to combat, that takes place on a plane clear above any political consideration. So I'd be very cautious about treating that kind of issue on those kinds of conditions.
I mean, that old Beach Boys song, Bomb Iran, bomb, 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 bomb. Anyway, I think Iran is a great threat. The Iranians are continuing their efforts to acquire a nuclear weapon. We keep pointing the gun. We haven't pulled a single trigger yet, and it's about time that we did. Bomb, 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 bomb. Anyway.